Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Man in the Wild. Just I was in that Sean Reed shit, looking at some of the comments, and it's like, people really can't. People really, are having a hard time grabbing, certain thises and that's and ises and ain'ts of this shit. When I call it a production, right? Because it's always the damn questions that motherfuckers want to ask, man. Was the family in on it? Was all the police involved? Was all of this? It's like, yo, y'all ask the stupidest fucking questions, right? The stupidest fucking questions when you're not even just simply looking at what's in front of you. You're looking at what's in front of you with that fucking dizzy spell they got you under. And it's like, and you're not even asking questions to get more knowledge. You asking questions to be a fucking asshole. Like, period. That's it. You being a dickhead. You're not really trying to get anything. So it's like, so then now it comes back to like, the fuck are you even here for? Right? So, from that, I figure I'll make a little sum up video, as to the, why this motherfucking Sean Reed thing was a production. All right, so we're gonna check a couple boxes off. It's some of them that ain't on here, but they're already there. But it's here with the military. All right, Buddy is standing there proudly, a service member. All right, and as it stands, when it comes to these psychological operations, man, there's always a fucking military member somewhere. Whether it be the victim, whether it be the perpetrator, whether it be a hero. You understand? Some family members behind that shit. You know why? Because the military is, I mean, that's where you can mold people into whatever the fuck you want it to be. A very specific shape. Right? That's where the secrets are opened up at, is within the military. Right? So I got a video on that role player shit. All right, the role player gigs and how you got to have secret clearance for this, that, and they're talking about within these job descriptions, these motherfuckers is psyops. Either that or civilian intelligence assets. Spying on people and shit like that. Because we grew up thinking that all these espionage and all these spies are spying on different consulates of different countries and all this other shit. Man, they spying on us. And it'd be regular, everyday motherfuckers, whether it be a snitch, like one of them confidential informants, and it's just funny how the letters that they use with this shit, man, is, how they give them a CI. Well, that's a civilian intelligence asset. CIA shit. And how deep they go is just how, how deep their Rolodex goes. So yeah, that's that military shit. And then whenever there's something on national news, because this happened in Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, so how the fuck is it in the New York Times? Understand? It's in the New York Times, and it came from Facebook Live. Like, all of these boxes is getting checked off, and it's like, yo, Facebook Live is full of nothing but productions when it comes to them viral shits. When it comes to them, everybody watch this, it's a production. That network is very, very, very vast, man. It's very widespread. And then here go, his sister. All right, his sister. I'm talking about she's seen her pursue. Okay, I feel like this is what she said. Now, this is what she's saying in an interview after her brother gets shot, allegedly, dead by the police. All right. I feel like to lose a life, especially at a young age, there's never going to be justice. Because he's gone. There's never justice for that. Even if somebody was to get time or whatever for it, it's never going to be justice because he's never coming back. I shouldn't have to bury my little brother. All right. So now, when you see it on paper, your heartstrings is pulled by this shit. But guarantee you watch the motherfucking interview, you're not going to see any type of emotion. And the type of emotion that you do see is the, very much, directed emotions. You know, I mean, it's just, and then also too, the story broke on TMZ immediately. The story broke on TMZ immediately. That's another check box. You know, check that shit off. Whatever you see on TMZ is some bullshit. You know. And so I believe, yes, this is allegedly, you know, Sean Reed laying there shot dead by the police. Now I ask you, because they say he got tased in his back, right? And he got shot as he was running. Where the fuck do you see anything that says closed casket? Right? Where the fuck do you see anything to where this motherfucker even got in a fight, a scuffle, a yelling match? Right? So these are the visuals that they give us to tell us a story about what happened, you know. And I'll be damned, every time the narrative that they give don't match the visuals. You understand? But since we're so trusting as people, right? We don't see the deception because, I mean, we got to believe what's on the news, right? You understand? Just like we got to believe the doctors, right? You know, we got to believe these celebrities when they say that they come down with this, that we got to believe them, right? They wouldn't lie to us. Why would they lie to us? And it comes back to this, why would this, why? Yo, look at what the fuck you looking at. That's all that matters. You understand? I know one of the whys is to make sure that racial division shit, you know, stays in effect, you know, because the COVID kind of brought people together because everybody's affected by the same shit. Right? You know, everybody's, you know, stay at home. Everybody can't go shopping like that. Everybody, you know, can't have fun with sports. Everybody can't do this, can't do that. Right? But when it comes down to these police shootings, you know, when they're allegedly shooting all these black people, you know, with these mainstream shits, I say allegedly, you know, firmly, you know, that comes back to the division because that only affects a certain group of people. You know, so, you know, of course they're back at it again as soon as the, you know, the bans and the stay at home start to get lifted here and there. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I mean, there's no other conclusion that could be came to other than you're looking at a productive, you know, a production, you know what I'm saying, produced event in life that these people want you to take seriously and take to your heart, you know, because people down there, what's it called, Indianapolis, they're over there, what's it called, having the rallies, having the, you know, police mess with them and all this other shit. And it's like, yo, every time, whenever one of these police shootings happen, you know, and people go down to march, you know, to the downtown area, you know, they do this and do that. Man, you ever notice how all of this shit always dies down damn near immediately? You understand? Damn near immediately. Why? Because that's how magic tricks work. You understand? In your face, bam, jazz hands. You know what I'm saying? Boom, glitter, poof. You know what I'm saying? A lion. You know what I'm saying? All this shit popping up and all this shit. You know, and then you jumping on board because if real, it is something that needs to be addressed. Things need to be, you know, taken into account. If real. But since it's not real, the shit doesn't hold. It doesn't stick. You know, none of it does. You know, because, and then when it comes down to something that is actually real, you know, only local people and people who are connected to them is going to know about it. Period. You know what I'm saying? Period. Trust and believe, man. Everything that you know, everyone you know, is controlled by the people that give you the information. You know, like your Louis Farrakhan's and all that shit, you know, the controlled opposition. You know, whack ass Umar and all them, the controlled opposition. Tariq Nasheed, controlled opposition. You understand? I don't know if I did the check box earlier because I'm doing the little mental check boxes. Benjamin Crump is involved in this shit. Controlled opposition. You understand? KKK, controlled opposition. Black Panther Party, controlled opposition. Each end of the spectrum is controlled by the same brain. You know, same thing how they call it the left and the right wing. when it comes to politics and shit. Yo, how the fuck a left and a right wing? That means the motherfucker's connected in some way, cause we got left and right arms, right? Left and right legs and shit. Yeah, connected to the same motherfucker. You know, how dare you not think that that shit extends all the way down? Like, you really? The control each side in every aspect shit, well, that ain't gonna trickle down for real. Come on, man. Grow the fuck up. Understand? Grow the fuck up. You know, because in the end, the mind that can't comprehend this shit and refuses to comprehend this shit, you know, still thinks like a child. Period. You know, because you don't know how many times people done said, like, when it comes to, you know, my view, like, especially when it came to like some ball earth shit and all of that, it's on like, man, you got taught this when you was a kid and all this shit. Like, motherfucker, that can't be what you coming to me with. You got taught that when you was a kid? Okay. Okay. You know, but that's the mentality of people, man. You know, and that's the you know, the sad reality that so many have fell into that dizzy spell trap. Excuse me. You know, so many have fell into it, and you know, getting out of it is tough. You know, because there's so many different angles that the shit hits you from, and then once you get dizzified, you know, everything else becomes easier. You know, it's the same thing. Like once you what's it called? You know, start doing some fuck shit. You know, as far as any type of hard drugs or, you know, anything like that, like, yeah, you know, certain things was hard for you to do before, but now that you on that shit, everything catches you. You always want to get that high. You know, and you love whenever you see something that resembles how you feel, like that dopamine type of shit. You just be getting high all the time watching this shit. You know, pay attention, man. Understand, man. Like, what you're being told and what is two completely different things. And I mean, shit, coming at somebody like me, that shit ain't gonna do you no good, because I know that you're coming from a place of emotion, one, you know, and two, you're coming from a place that lacks the knowledge of I don't know, the ability to see deception, to see true deception. You know what I mean? And so it's like anything that gets said, it's like, I mean, it's spinning wheels and adding fuel to, you know, what I got going on. You know, because trust and believe, I read all them shits. You know, especially, you know, if somebody sends me a link to look up whenever they trying to disagree, you know, with something I got to say or something, they'll, you know, maybe send a link to a video or something. You know, I watch every second, and guess what? I don't say shit until the video's done too. Right? I don't say shit till the video's done. Understand? That's what a lot of people's problem is with this shit too. You know, you hear me talking, you know, hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Man in the Wild. You know, we sitting here talking, we're going to talk about this, that, you know, and then once I come out of my mouth, you know, going ahead, it's a production or, you know, deception or something. Oh, here this motherfucker go. Man, here you go talking all this shit. And it's like, yo, you ain't even listening to shit yet. You know, and if you really peep some of my shit, some of the best shit don't happen to the end. You know, but, you know, comes back to, that's the mentality of the people, you know, that have been molded by the programming. You know, the programming, this shit runs 24/7 on many platforms. You know what I'm saying? Many platforms. And don't think that they, you know, will not use anything at their disposal. Anything. Anything, anyone, anytime, anywhere. You know, because I mean, because like the control aspect of it, like you got to think about it. You really got to think about it when you're dealing with people who are control freaks, right? And they have the ability to control beginning and end, everything in the middle, right? Like what kind of dummy would think that shit wouldn't be, you know, executed? You know, especially when you look at what you see. You know, you see the same motherfuckers talking about shit. Like whenever they talk about race shit, you see the same motherfuckers coming up on Fox News. You see the same motherfuckers going up on CBS shit. Right? Whenever a psyop happens, the little shooting shit they got the same motherfuckers that they interviewing. A motherfucking that R. Kelly shit is just an example, but they getting exclusive with Gail. It's the same motherfucker they talking to the whole time. To control the moment. Because that's what it's about, controlling the shit. You know, so they're not going to let anybody give information or be a part of the party, right, who is not a controlled member. Period. You know, and how do they find their controlled members? They find them through the military. You understand? They find them through sports. Right? Family connections. You know, and it's just like, man, just hope anybody who pays attention sees that shit. You know, and each example, I mean, I got a lot of videos, right? And I got a lot of videos, and the pattern, you know, I don't think I can be more clear about this shit as I express, you know, and explain this, explain that, show this and show that. You know, if you don't want to get it, that's fine. Don't get it. Right? But don't be mad at us that do. All right, that's that dumb shit. Again, that's that childlike shit. Like, how the fuck you gonna be mad at somebody for feeling a certain way about some shit that goes on, right? Especially when you don't even have the knowledge to take yourself to even think about on that level with that person. Are you not even on that level? Like, it's like that's some childlike shit to get mad about it. Period. You know, it's all about humility and all that, humbling yourself to certain shit. You know, and it's like, and in most cases, you know, that's all it really comes down to is just being humble to whatever moment that you're dealing with. You know, but it's because you don't want to look like this in front of this nigga, or you don't want to feel this way in front of this person, or you don't want this person to have this over you, or, you know, and it's like, I don't understand that part. You know, never will. You know, but again, that comes back to that's the mentality of the motherfuckers that we got, you know, in control, and, you know, making sure that the popular opinion keeps them motherfuckers in control. You know, which is the biggest part of the bullshit. You know, it's that whole Stockholm syndrome shit. You know, motherfuckers is really like, as far as the control structure and power structure that we got in this country and this world. You know, it really, I mean, there's a slave system underneath of everything. You know, but the people, we promote a bunch of that shit within that shit, thinking that it's for our, you know, greater good and for the benefit of the people and shit, when it don't benefit us at all. When it actually hurts us. I'm saying, causes families to break up on some of the dumbest shit that shouldn't exist. You know, and with the knowledge of their plan and what they want done to you. I mean, me personally, you know, that makes it easier to circumvent that bullshit. You know, so yeah, shit is what it is, and yeah, man, stay away from the fuck shit and stop believing everything you see. You know, like I said, even question me. You know, even though you won't get too far if you try to come at me like that. So, yeah, this Sean Reed, I'm done with it. You see that shit. You see that shit. You looking at that shit. Ain't no reason to talk about this shit no more. So, yeah, the Sean Reed bullshit is confirmed though.